What in the world happened here? I sound extra like dead today, but I guess it's just recovering from being gone for 3 days. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that Veidos, the eruption dragon of extinction, so you guys don't miss out more on us. This puts a smile on my face because as much as we have talked about Veidos throughout the years, we finally have a W for the QCR. QCRs, as of filming this, got eradicated over the weekend. Because if you watched YCS in Japan, you saw, oh crap, Toons might actually be a real deck. And it's like we've been talking about this. Japan talked about the pregame. We had 2 months of notice about Toons just kind of running the format. And all of a sudden, this card has exploded in price because it counters Toons. Basically, being able to eat your opponent's field spell before they can actually resolve the effect is very, very, very good. The only downside that Veidos is even going to remotely provide is you're giving your opponent one body on the field. So I guess that's your trade-off, right? If there's like a powerful Link 2 extender that they could possibly end, there's really nothing that the Toon deck is going to be able to really do with the Veidos. I guess it's like, oh no, you're giving them a 2800 attack point monster you're going to deal with, but at the same time, it's providing me a tool to make sure that I'm not going to get tuned on. I think that's appropriate. And it's the same thing that, depending on how the OCG ban list is going to handle this, depending on how we are going to see future application coming down from this ourselves. I mean, the reality of the situation is it's always going to be a card that will be discussed as a tool to provide you safety against any deck in the entire format that plays field spells. It's kind of important. Next up is actually Toons themselves. I guess while I was gone, Toon Bookmark decided that it wanted to go absolutely crazy. Right now, Toon bookmarks from Battles of Legend Crystal Revenge are $18 to $19 a copy. Take a sec, and that also includes the Toon Chaos Ultra. Actually, both versions of this card are pretty much at the $20 point right now. I am a little bit intrigued by the sudden uptick in, what's going on here. I do think that it's cool to see, Toons are finally getting their recognition because this is one of the biggest fan favorite decks in the entire room. So many people want to be able to have Toons be competitive. The problem is just over the years with how many tools that Toons have been given, it's put them into an unfavorable ban list situation. And that's, also, to be fair, I think Konami is going to reprint things like Toon Bookmark to be able to try to get more of these into circulation for people. You can't tell me going forward with a release like this that, we're only going to see 2 Toon Bookmarks being right, Crystal Revenge being the very last Toon card, being printed. I do not believe that to be the case. So, wherever the rest of this Toon stuff's coming, don't be surprised if you see another Toon Bookmark coming with it. It's just Yu-Gi-Oh! Players have this unfashionable need to get in front of things to make sure that, they can get them for collection early. And then there's nothing wrong with that per se. It's just you're going to have to understand that, there should be another reprint coming for this. If Konami does not provide us another reprint, I would probably shit my pants and cry about it. Because $20 is too gosh darn much for this. Next up is the extended Starlight buyouts over the weekend. Zark, Borland, and Super Poly are the ones that I have, I guess, seen disappear. So first of all, good old Zark going. I think this is funny, but I don't blame people for this because when you're looking at these extended Starlight rares, they're never, you're not going to see 50 of these things sitting on the market. It's kind of impossible right now, honestly, judging by the, current market situations. And to the people that bought Zark for $75, I mean, you did good. It's kind of the same thing that was going on with Borland, right? Borderline was kind of sitting on the market relatively cheaply in comparison to some of the other ones. And then, you know, people just were like, well, why are these so cheap? They eventually just came through and Snap called them up. And I mean, that's a pretty standard thing that happens within the market. And then Super Polys. Super Poly, I think, has been one of the biggest uptickers within the current space right now, just because when you look at that card, I think we were down to 2 listings on the Starlight Rares today, which is honestly pretty impressive given all, you know, the market situation and how things are going right now. So I guess keep an eye on where these extended Starlight Rares are going to go. Judging by the back and forth, the loop-de-loop, the spin-de-loop, and all of that, market conditions at least want these cards, at least the Starlight Rares, to be above $100. The Ultras, I mean, those are going to continue to sink. I mean, like, your cheapest one's what, like $12 now, give or take, on the extended art. So, I there's not much else to say about it. Collectors will be collecting and be pricing up them cards. Crush card virus. So, this is, I truly should say that this is nothing new. But looking at the current, or I guess people's, I don't want to phrase this. People who didn't know that gold rare crush cards were worth money, just learned that gold crush cards are worth money, if that makes sense. Looking at gold crush cards right now, you can get a light play for $75. You can get a German version for, I think it's $60. But here's the thing with the gold rare crush cards. This is one of the few prints that actually has the original card text on it and actually is able to work with the way that the card was intended to do. This card is 18 years old at this point in time, and this card was one of the hottest cards when it came out. If you want to play OG Crush card with the way that the card was intended, this is the nice hollow printing for you to do it. And it's this in the Turbo Rare. Now, like I said, given market conditions and things like this, this falls into the more niche sector of rarity upgrades, you know. But at the same time, you know, there has really, I've watched this card for the last year. Your sales are very far and in between, but when they do sell, they're usually in the $70+ range for light play up. That's just been the way that this card has functionally worked throughout the years. So I wanted to bring this up just because I found it interesting that other people found it interesting. They're like, oh my God, this card exists? Yeah, it does. It's just you don't see these out in the open very often. I mean, you could probably go an entire YCS without seeing one of these in a trade binder if you started walking around with everybody. And then we have Georgius. Ah, boy. Good job, market. I'm so proud of you guys. Georgius went down to be a $2 card, and then Georgius just said, nope, screw this, I'm going back up. Georgius is heading up to the $5 mark right now, and I want to be the first person to tell you, you guys should have bought these when these were $2. I keep telling you guys, Crystron, Hauki, Fibrax, Prism, plus this card is not going to be a fun time because it gets to provide you with another little, you know, mechanical floodgate lock. It's really good, people. And if you're like, well, I don't think so, Robbie. Okay, that's fine. You don't believe me. Let's watch this card go up together to the moon, and it's gone. I just be patient and watch this. If you don't have a Georgius already, don't be surprised if this card hits $10 later in its life. It's probably going to, because, you know, it's a good secret rare. That's all there is to it. People not wanting to get ahead of meta trends is nothing new. I mean, it's just, they're going to shit and piss on the floor and complain when the card hits $10. And I mean, it's bound to happen at this point. So given everything that's happened and what in the world has happened here today, a lot of YCSJ implications. Depending on how I feel, I'm going to try to get YCSJ feature matches up because it looks like a good event. It really does. So please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And, well, guys, try to have a good rest of your day and stay safe out there. I wonder what else I'm going to come up with today. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.